Welcome to another short how-to video. This time is going to be for the Paperclip challenge, which is an extra credit. It is worth 50 points. I know that on the right-hand side, it says 0 maximum point. So that's because it's extra credit, which means that any points that I give you, between 5 or 10 to 50, they're going to count as extra credit. The due date is on December 5th. The document is already uploaded here. And I just wanted to quickly tell you what the actual extra credit challenge is. So let me just quickly open the document. Okay, so this is the document that you would be reading, right? This is the prompt. The purpose of this challenge is to exchange a paperclip 5 times for something that meets both of the following conditions. And by the way, this sometimes causes a little bit of confusion because some students think that you have to do 5 paper clips, and you would, like you have paper clips, and then you will exchange one paper clip for a pencil, and then you'll exchange the other paper clip for an eraser, and then you'll exchange another paper clip for a piece of gum. Now, that's not what this is about. You're going to start with one paperclip, with a paperclip, and you're going to do 5 exchanges, okay? And it needs to meet both conditions, which is the first condition is based on the actual value. That means that you have to exchange whatever you exchange the paperclip for has to have higher value than the paperclip. So let's assume that the paperclip is 25 cents. The first exchange that you do needs to be above 25 cents. So if you do it for a pencil and the pencil is $1, the next exchange, when you exchange that pencil for something else, that whatever you're exchanging it for needs to be more than $1, right? So that's the first condition. It has to be something that is monetarily higher in value. Please, let's not do sentimental value, okay, unless you can prove that it had a lot of value for you. Like I've had a hat, a Dodgers hat that my dad had, for the past 30 years. And it has a lot of sentimental value for me. They no longer make those hats, and I exchanged it for something else, something that then fine, but you have to prove it. That's the first condition. The second condition is that it needs to be exchanged for something empirically useful. Like, for example, a student once asked me, what if I exchange it for a hug? And I was like, yeah, a hug is really not useful. And I said, well, what if I'm feeling like down and depressed? And it's like my friend's hug, that's going to make me feel better. I'm like, that could probably work, but empirically, your friend is always hugging you. So there's really no value, in the hug. Anyway, so somebody really tried to bend the rules and stuff. So that's why I put the second condition is let's try to make it empirical, okay? That means that how you measure empirical is the usefulness of it. The paperclip itself is a useful tool. So exchange it for something that is also a tool, right? The protocol, meaning how is this going to count, right? And so the change needs to be between 2 individuals, okay? And they have to be 2 unique individuals. That means you and the other person. You cannot exchange the paperclip back and forth between you and your friend. You cannot sit there and be like, hey, let me exchange this paperclip for your pencil. And then he gives you the pencil. And then you say, oh, I have a pencil. Can we do, can we exchange this pencil for, a piece of gum that you have? And then you give the pencil back to your friend, and then your friend gives you the piece of gum. That doesn't work. It has to be 2 unique individuals, which means that you have to do your exchange 5 different times, okay? You can do it, like, even though I said you cannot exchange the paperclip back and forth between you and your friend, sibling, etc., consecutive times, that means that you can actually, you can exchange or do your exchanges with friends and siblings, not do more than 2 exchanges with each, with one person alone. So the next one is that the exchange must meet one core aspect of the course. For example, when you exchange the Paperclip for a pencil, you can say it demonstrates one aspect of the business process. Okay, which business process? Okay, and finally is the exchange needs to be between goods. Okay, selling your Paperclip does not count. That's not an exchange. So you cannot tell someone, hey, can I exchange this Paperclip for your $2 bill? You could try to pull that one, but I'm going to be like, yeah, no, because that $2 bill is actually a bill. It's money. So pretty much you're selling it and getting $2 in return, right? And so try not to be like, funny and cute and stuff like that. It has to be goods. Right? Now, how am I going to grade it? Remember, this is a extra credit, right? But not just because you did it one time and you just kind of like half-assed it because you just wanted some points. Well, you're not going. This is not an all or nothing thing. It's not like if you do it halfway done and you're going to get the 50 points, right? No, you are going to earn points based on a couple of criteria, right? Which is each successful exchange is worth 5 points. Because you are going to exchange it 5 times, you're going to get 25. So half of your 50 points comes from each of your successful exchanges. There you go. Then each exchange is worth 2 points when you are going to, like each item that is exchanged is going to be worth 2 points. That's why if you say exchange it for a hug, I'm not going to give you 2 points for that. Okay, so no, each item that you exchange, when you show me that it's of higher value, I'm going to give you 2 points. And then finally, you're going to write something, right? Because this is not something that you're going to simply just send me an email and say, hey, professor, I just did it. No, you're going to have to write something. You're going to explain the process, right? The exchanges, the principles, and your reflection, right? I mean, you didn't think that I'm going to have you do an activity and not have you do reflection. So you have 25 points here, plus 10 points there for the exchanges. That's 35. Finally, you're going to get 15 points for the final report, right? And the due date for the challenge, for this challenge, is December 5th. Now, I'm not going to just simply leave you like that. I'm going to show you what a successful 50-point Paperclip challenge was. And this is again from one of my students in previous class, and she did an exceptional job. I had other students that do it kind of like in a table. Another student did it like in Excel, however you want to do it. But remember how I am with regards to reflection. And this is why I'm showing you an excellent extra credit, right? So this particular person said the first exchange was a pencil for about $1, and she exchanged it with the friend, and then she explains how. The friend, they were just printing something, and his friend, she noticed that her friend needed a Paperclip, right? And so she offered that Paperclip, and for exchange, she got a pencil in exchange, right? And it was a mechanical pencil, something like that. So she gave it about $1 value. Perfect. Here she is. She gets the first 5 points plus the first 2 points, so she gets 7 points, for this. Then the mechanical pencil, she exchanged it for a flick lighter, right? She exchanged it with her uncle. She says, she asked the uncle if he needed something to write with, and then he said yes. And they kind of argue a little bit, about that the lighter was worth a lot more than the pencil, but she said that she convinced him it was worth it. Anyways, and so she exchanged it, and the mechanical pencil was $1. She says that the flick lighter was $1.50. So again, very well written, right? So now she's got 14 points, 5 points for the exchange, plus 2 points for the explanation, etc. And then she continues then from that to a Starbucks gift card, from that to a hat, LA Rams hat, and then to that from a tree art print by John Baran that is $32, right? So successful 5 exchanges. She definitely went from a paperclip, to a pencil all the way up, to $32. And then she writes her reflection in the essay. This is what she did. She talks about IST principles applied, what they are. She's talking about in the future what she's going to do. She talks about what the exchanging challenge means. It involved this, has to do something with a high monetary value. One of the business aspects demonstrated in this paper is that one can engage in the challenge to obtain objects, etc. And then she just simply ends with, the paperclip has proven, that we don't need to spend money to acquire the things that we want. So this is part of like that reflection. And again, this was well done. Really, she got most of her points, if not all of their points, pretty much right here. She did very well. And I hope that this serves as a good example to you.